Welcome to the Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. It's always a pleasure when Will Horton is in town, and today we got to see him as the dad of a teenager, something we had never seen before. Considering that Ariana was barely in grade school 3 years ago, this is quite a change for Will as he deals with Ari's case of Soros without blinking an eye. It was also a pleasure to see Ari with both of her parents, reminding us of her unusual family dynamic that came from her mom and dad, both being teenage parents. But Will's presence is much more important than that. He has deep familial ties to Salem, especially his grandmother. Marlena was the first person to whom Will came out. She even officiated his wedding to Sunny when Sammy was less than thrilled about her son's choice of mate. We'd like to see the connection between Will and Gabby grow. But also, don't forget his Leo connection. Leo was once quite a thorn in Will and Sunny's side. In fact, they even thought they had killed him once and hid his body in a large area rug. The problem was that Leo wasn't dead. Let's see Will and Leo try to bury the hatchet in their own comedic ways. The fact is, Will belongs in Salem, so maybe one day, Days of Our Lives can make that happen permanently. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full DOOL recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not. Forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is, if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. The past few weeks saw an awful lot of familiar faces returning to Days of Our Lives as Salem gathered to say farewell to John Black. Among those in attendance was Marlena's daughter, Carrie, who said at least a few tongues wagging in our offices by revealing that hubby Austin wasn't in attendance. Why did Carrie show up sans Austin? She explained that he felt it was important to attend the graduation of their son, Noah. While that's a perfectly legitimate excuse, we couldn't help but remember that the last time we spent any time with the couple, during the 2021 Days spin-off Beyond Salem, Carrie and Austin weren't in the best of places. Keeping that in mind, her flying solo at John's service left us wondering if perhaps they'd once again hit a rough spot. Despite that lingering question, we assumed there wouldn't be answers forthcoming. Well, for a brief, shining moment, we thought there was a Carrie-Austin reunion in the works, thanks to an Instagram post shared by both former portrayer Patrick Muldoon and the show itself. As excited as we, and fans were at the notion of Austin's return, it turns out not to be true. According to Soap Opera Digest, the show has confirmed that Muldoon was simply visiting the set he long called home. The occasion? Taking a friend for a tour of the studio. While Muldoon originated the role of Austin, he has shared the role with Austin Peck. In fact, the two have taken turns over the years, with Muldoon playing the role from 1992 until 1995, followed by Peck's initial Salem run from 1995 until the character's exit in 2002. 3 years later, Peck once again stepped into the former boxer's shoes, remaining until 2006. There was yet another switcheroo when Muldoon reclaimed the part from 2011 until 2012, and then again for the limited series Beyond Salem. News of Muldoon's supposed return left some fans wondering if his Austin might wind up crossing paths with Sammy, perhaps even reinvigorating the triangle they shared with her sister Carrie. That particular storyline was one of the most popular in the show's history, as the siblings battled one another for Austin's heart. Although it turns out Muldoon is not actually returning, who's to say that the buzz generated by the confusion won't lead to a case of wish fulfillment down the road? It's the event that Days of Our Lives fans have been waiting a long time for, the true return of Bo&Hope. Sure, they returned in 2023, only to have Sean shoot his old man, mistakenly thinking he was going to hurt his mom. Bo nearly died from sepsis, but thanks to John's last valiant act, the cure was saved, and so was Bo. Now that he's back in Salem, it appears that his stint will again be short. But Raquel had some things to say about returning. Raquel explained to Woman's World that his daughter Loden is now 17 and has been building a life of her own, moving on into adulthood. "I think I need some help with this breakup," the Days of Our Lives star lamented, feeling bad that his nest will be empty. He and his wife, Kelly Moneymaker, and their daughter had departed Hollywood and moved around quite a bit, living in places like New Zealand and Alaska. But now that Loden's heading out into the world, the actor needs to fill that time that was once spent maintaining his household. He explained that, "Going back to Days of Our Lives and doing something that is just part of me will never fill the space that my daughter holds, but it'll help." He noted that he still has friends who live in Los Angeles, so if he committed to a long-term project, he could crash at one of their places. Raquel also pointed out that many cast members don't actually live in the city, so it seems that commuting is doable, especially if he began playing Bo on a regular basis again. The outlet reported that Bo&Hope will soon renew their vows on the show, after which they will depart Salem yet again. "I don't know that this goodbye is something that the fans are looking forward to," he stated, adding, "But the first time we sailed off Sunset, we came back after a couple of years, so hopefully the writers and producers will bring us back. It'd be pretty cool." Raquel had previously explained that his last appearance on Days of Our Lives wouldn't be his last. He had written on X, formerly Twitter, "Several of you responded by asking me to come back to DOOL. I would love to go back. The show just has to find room for me. Thanks so much for your continued support. It means a lot after all these years." Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Tate Black and Doug Williams III may join forces on a rescue mission. Will Doug and Tate save Holly Jonas and Ariana Ari Hortons when kidnappers strike? In Days' June 17th episode, Doug received some alarming photos of Ari and Holly, which were taken by the guy who's been stalking them around town. There was also a note from the loan shark that ominously suggested it'd be a shame if something happened to those pretty faces. Doug immediately took the pics to Leo Stark and begged for another loan since he's desperate to get these people off his back. It's more important than ever now that Holly and Ari are in danger. Unfortunately, the $1,000 that Doug asked Leo for may not be good enough. If Doug can't come up with all the money fast enough, Days spoilers say Ari and Holly could face even more peril. Snapping pics may pave the way for a full-blown kidnapping plot and some ransom demands. The people involved in all this loan shark business can't be trusted, so Doug may fear they'll harm Holly and Ari, whether they get their money or not. Even if Ari and Holly's wealthy family members get involved by ponying up the cash, there are no guarantees about the girl's safe return. As a result, Days spoilers hint that Doug may feel the need to take matters into his own hands, and Tate could ultimately be on the same page. Of course, DOOL viewers know by now that Tate has issues with Doug. You can bet Tate will have even more if Doug's the reason Holly and Ari get snatched. Nevertheless, Tate may decide to put his problems with Doug aside in the end. This could lead to Doug and Tate joining forces to save the young women they both care about. Tate is still in love with Holly, and Ari is his cousin. As for Doug, he's been drawn to both Ari and Holly romantically. From a drama standpoint, it makes sense for Tate and Doug to get pulled into a situation like this together. Doug and Tate may feel they have no choice but to team up on a rescue mission, one that could save Holly and Ari in the end. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest Doug may face some alarming news and give Tate updates if some double abduction chaos goes down. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, June 19th, reveal that Chanel Dupree DeMera will ruin a celebration while Belle Black tackles a mystery. EJ DeMera will also get honest with Johnny DeMera, so here's what Days fans can expect. First, on Thursday's DOOL episode, Belle will console Marlena Evans as she continues to grieve. Coping with John Black's demise will remain incredibly difficult for Marlena, who'll think of her love while holding his baseball cap. Marlena will also have a meltdown and toss some flowers, but outbursts like this are to be expected under the circumstances. At least Marlena will get some support from Belle in this time of deep mourning. Over with EJ, Days spoilers say he'll get blunt with Johnny during another tense conversation. Johnny may give EJ an attitude, so EJ might blurt out that he's doing everything he can to protect his son from criminal consequences. EJ even struck a deal with Kristen DiMera since Rachel Black remembers seeing Johnny holding a gun while arguing with his father that night. That confession could bring quite a shock for Johnny, who didn't actually pull the trigger on EJ despite what Rachel witnessed. As for Chanel, she'll turn to Paulina Price for some comfort. Although Chanel and Johnny are trying to move forward as a couple, that doesn't mean things are perfect between them. Chanel still wants to be a mom and doesn't know when Johnny will be ready for fatherhood, so she may open up to Paulina about the disconnect. Perhaps Chanel will admit she still wishes they were adopting Tate Black and Sophia Choi's baby. Whatever the case, Chanel will become a party pooper during her Juneteenth celebration with Paulina and Abe Carver at the bistro later. It may bring the mood down a bit as Abe and Paulina try to make some special toasts. Now that Philip Kyriakis claims Xander Kyriakis wasn't the one who attacked him, Belle will tackle this mystery. Days spoilers say Belle will be determined to figure out why Philip is lying and covering up Xander's guilt. Nevertheless, fibbing Philip will maintain that Xander is innocent, which could mean bad news for Sarah Horton Kyriakis when it comes to Victoria Kyriakis and a potential custody feud. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Xander will spell out his intentions to Sarah, so he may warn that she'll have to give him more than just supervised visits on her terms. Xander may be willing to take Sarah to court, so stay tuned for updates on any additional conflict ahead. Xander has some for Sarah too. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, June 19th warn that EJ has something major to discuss with Johnny. Does it rhyme with Schmet-tempted Schmurder? Rachel remembers seeing Johnny with a gun the night EJ was shot. EJ remembers seeing Johnny with a gun the night EJ was shot. Johnny knows he had a gun the night EJ was shot. Neither EJ nor Johnny has discussed it up to now, probably because they're not speaking. Well, at least Johnny isn't speaking to EJ, but they're going to have to talk sooner or later, and EJ has decided it's going to be sooner. Philip woke up from his coma. Kate wanted to know who beat him into it. Sarah wanted to know too, each for their own reasons, but Philip let his mother down and confused Sarah when he claimed he didn't remember, and he definitely didn't remember it being Xander. So Kate is frustrated, Sarah is stymied, and Xander demands to see his daughter. After all, he's not the criminal Sarah made him out to be, is he? There is still a lot of grief in Salem as Belle comforts Marlena, who is working on getting through life one day at a time. This isn't something she's just going to snap out of. Meanwhile, Chanel is upset about whatever it is that's going on with Johnny now. Paulina is there to cluck, sympathize, and promise that everything is going to be okay for her precious baby girl. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest it's been a hot minute since fans have seen Patrick Muldoon or his legendary character, Austin Reed, in the land of Salem. However, fans need to gear up for a massive return. The actor recently popped up on the Peacock soap's social media with an interesting announcement. Days uploaded a video of Muldoon, somewhere backstage, on their IG account. The caption reads, "Who is that wandering around Salem? And why? DOOL, days of 4 lives." In the post, Muldoon walks through a backstage door with the words Studio 4 on it, with sunglasses on. Looking back at the door as he opens it, he mutters, "Studio 4," a couple of times and snaps his fingers, almost trying to recall where he is. Then he questions if it's Studio 2 he's looking for, as he takes off his sunglasses. Muldoon then looks directly into the camera and states that he just got here from Burbank, and he then pauses as he goes back and forth on the idea of whether he should be in Studio 2 or Studio 4 when he realizes he's back in Salem. He smiles, puts his glasses back on, and states that it's good to be back, as he walks away. Muldoon originated the role of Austin Reed, entering the canvas in '92, then exiting in '95, only to return again from 2011 to 2012. Of course, the character was also played by actor Austin Peck from 1995 to 2006, and once again from 2017 to 2021. Austin Reed has massive roots in Salem, thanks to his mom, Kate Roberts Brady, living there, among other family members. Interestingly enough, his love, Carrie Brady, recently dropped by for a visit to be there for John Black after his accident and for his memorial. Will Muldoon reprise the role of Austin Reed, or does the soap have a brand new character for him to debut as? As of this writing, it's also unclear as to when Muldoon will be seen in Salem again, as the soap takes several months ahead of broadcast. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Aaron Green is about to return to Salem for Sophia Choi's baby daddy reveal. Fans already believe that Tate Black is not the father. Fans remember that Tate and Sophia did not sleep together on the day that Sophia claims to have gotten pregnant. Was Sophia with someone else that day? After Tate accidentally called Sophia by Holly Jonas's name in bed, Sophia left and had an interesting conversation with Aaron before taking off to watch Body and Soul. Sophia was shocked to learn that Aaron asked her to the prom last year because he liked her, not because he felt sorry for her. Sophia and Aaron then disappeared with no more on-screen scenes. What did Sophia and Aaron do that evening? Could Aaron and Zoe have hit the sheets that day since Sophia said she got pregnant then? How would Sophia know she got pregnant that particular day if she hadn't slept with someone? After all, she was the one who said that was that date. Tate has no reason to believe that Sophia's baby isn't his, because he believes he is the only person she slept with. Tate has no idea that anyone else could have possibly fathered that child. Sophia certainly wasn't going to tell Tate that she had slept with someone else. Sophia had Tate right where she wanted him. Graduation is coming up this week, June 16, 2020. Aaron will return from taking care of his mother in Canada to attend graduation with the rest of their class. Is graduation the only reason Aaron has come home? Or is it possible that he has put the puzzle pieces together and figured out that this baby could be his as well? Brady Black may be going through a lot right now. However, Teresa Donovan would be insisting on a paternity test before her son took any kind of responsibility for this baby. Will Brady insist that Tate ask for a paternity test, or could Aaron show up claiming the baby has his own and want a test done himself? Fans have not bought the story that this baby is Tate's for the biggest part of this pregnancy. Will Tate's fans finally be vindicated when a paternity test proves that Sophia's baby belonged to Aaron's wishes and put the baby up for adoption, or will he want to raise this child and keep it in the family instead of giving it away? Grief hits Marlena once again. After a few lighthearted episodes, the grief will return as Marlena mourns John. As she holds his baseball cap, she'll get a visit from Belle. After Belle comforts Marlena and she's left alone again, it looks like she'll be overcome with grief and destroy a flower arrangement. Salem, the fictional heartbeat of Days of Our Lives, is no stranger to twists and betrayals. But now, the town finds itself gripped by one of its most perplexing storylines yet, centered around the enigmatic Cat Green. Is she truly who she says she is? Or is Salem unknowingly harboring a stranger, a spy, or worse, a villain? For longtime viewers of Days of Our Lives, Cat Green's return felt like a homecoming. She rejoined the Green family with grace, warmth, and an uncanny recall of her family's history. But beneath that familiarity lies a growing suspicion. Could Cat be an imposter? One of the most compelling fan theories suggests Cat isn't Cat at all, but rather a surgically altered agent planted by the International Security Agency. In this chilling scenario, the real Cat Green may have died in secret, her identity stolen by a highly trained operative who now lives among the unsuspecting citizens of Salem. This doppelganger theory evokes the classic Days flavor, echoes of past plots involving microchips and mind control. Could memories have been implanted to ensure her flawless impersonation? If so, her intimate knowledge of the Green family's quirks and traumas may not come from lived experience, but from programming. But what if Cat is the real Cat, just not the woman we thought she was? Another popular theory reframes her as a reluctant ISA recruit. Perhaps at a vulnerable moment, after a personal loss or dangerous encounter, she agreed to work undercover to protect her family or clear a shadowy debt. Her assignment? To get close to Clyde Weston, one of Salem's most persistent and dangerous criminals. Operating as an inside agent, Cat would be walking a dangerous tightrope. Her conversations with Clyde might seem casual, but each one could be a calculated step in a mission to dismantle his operation from within. However, her mother's shocking decision to shoot Clyde and send him into a coma may have put that mission in jeopardy, forcing Kat to either adapt or face exposure. Yet, questions remain. Does Clyde Weston, for all his crimes, really qualify as a global threat worthy of ISA intervention? Or is there a larger game afoot, perhaps involving a secretive organization Clyde unknowingly works for? As Days of Our Lives fans know, even the most cherished characters can harbor dark intentions. What if Kat isn't a victim, an agent, or a pawn, but the mastermind? Some fans point to a subtle, suspicious exchange with seasoned ICE operative Shane Donovan. His confusion upon seeing Kat hinted at something deeper, possibly a past encounter with her under a different, more sinister identity. Could Kat be a rogue agent or a freelance operative working for an opposing faction? If true, her entire presence in Salem could be part of a larger scheme. Her warmth, her tears, her concern for family, could they all be part of a performance crafted to gain trust and access? If she orchestrated Clyde's downfall, was it justice or strategy? And what if her true target isn't Clyde, but the entire Green family, or even Salem itself? Recent creative shifts in Days of Our Lives suggest the show is moving away from science fiction and grandiose plots toward more emotionally grounded, character-driven narratives. This makes the plastic surgery/imposter storyline feel less likely, while elevating the plausibility of the ISA recruit or hidden villain theories. Either arc would allow the show to explore powerful themes: trust, identity, betrayal, and the length someone might go to for family or for power. No matter which theory proves true, one thing is clear. The Green family sits at the heart of this unfolding drama. Kat's connection to her family, whether real, faked, or manipulated, could be the key to her story's resolution. If she's an imposter, their trust is her shield. If she's a reluctant recruit, their safety is her motivator. And if she's a villain, their legacy might be her battleground. As secrets unravel, loyalties will be tested, and Salem may never be the same. The mystery of Kat Green has captivated Days of Our Lives fans, inviting them to question everything they thought they knew. Is she a hero undercover, a grieving daughter caught in a web of deception, or a sinister player with a plan? Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. When it finally comes to light, it will change the fabric of Salem forever. The fictional town of Salem, as depicted in the June 23rd to 27th episodes of Days of Our Lives, delivered a roller coaster of emotions that left longtime fans reeling. From devastating losses to glimmers of hope, this week's episodes blended tragedy, revelation, and the enduring power of love. For viewers who have followed the Johnson, Devereaux, and Kyriakis families through decades of drama, these episodes were a poignant reminder of why Salem remains a captivating cornerstone of daytime television. Here's a look at the key moments that defined this unforgettable week, alongside reflections on the June 16th episode, which honored a milestone in the show's history. The week began with what should have been a joyous occasion, Salem High's graduation day. Sophia Choi, a young woman navigating the challenges of impending motherhood, was set to celebrate this milestone alongside her classmates. But the day took a heartbreaking turn when Sophia went into sudden, violent labor during the ceremony. What started with caps, gowns, and hopeful speeches descended into chaos as Sophia's contractions began. Tate Black, who has been a steadfast supporter throughout Sophia's pregnancy despite not being the biological father, stepped in to help. His loyalty was a testament to his character, but the situation quickly escalated beyond his control. Paramedics rushed Sophia to the hospital as her condition deteriorated, revealing serious complications. Despite the medical team's efforts, tragedy struck. Sophia's baby did not survive. The loss of a child not yet named or held left Sophia and those around her in unspeakable sorrow, marking one of the most emotionally devastating moments in recent Days of Our Lives history. As grief enveloped the hospital, Aaron Green's return to Salem added a new layer of complexity. Aaron, whose past with Sophia has been fraught with unresolved emotions, demanded a paternity test. The results, delivered too late, confirmed that Aaron was the biological father of Sophia's lost child. The revelation shattered Aaron, who was forced to confront the loss of a son he never had the chance to know. For Sophia, already reeling from physical and emotional trauma, the news deepened her pain. Tate, who had loved the baby as his own, was left heartbroken and confused, grappling with the dual blow of loss and the truth about the child's paternity. The tragedy rippled through Salem, touching the lives of other residents. Tate found solace in Holly Jonas, a figure from his past with whom he shares a complicated history. Once star-crossed teens, Tate and Holly were torn apart by misunderstandings and youthful mistakes. Now, as Holly comforts Tate in his grief, a familiar spark flickers between them. While it's too early to predict a full romantic reunion, Holly's unwavering support suggests their story is far from over. Elsewhere, Doug Williams III and Ari Horton reconnected in the wake of the tragedy. Having drifted apart due to youthful disagreements, the two found themselves drawn together by shared sorrow. Their quiet, emotional reunion served as a reminder that life's unpredictability can reignite old bonds, offering a path toward healing. Amid the heartbreak, Days of Our Lives offered a glimmer of joy with the upcoming wedding of Paul Narita and Andrew Donovan. Their commitment ceremony promises to bring Salem together in a celebration of love and resilience. For a town reeling from loss, this event serves as a reminder that even in the darkest moments, love can light the way. Friends and family will gather to honor Paul and Andrew's journey, a storyline that underscores the importance of cherished relationships and the courage to move forward. The June 16th episode provided a fitting prelude to the week's emotional intensity, blending nostalgia with fresh intrigue. The episode opened with a surprising revelation from Philip Kyriakis, who awoke in his hospital bed and cleared Xander Cook of suspicion in his attack. This declaration raised questions about who was truly responsible, with a fleeting moment in Philip's hospital room hinting at possible manipulation. The ambiguity kept viewers on edge, a classic Days move to sustain suspense. The episode also paid tribute to the late John Black, whose absence cast a shadow over the Johnson and Devereaux families. Steve "Patch" Johnson, portrayed by Stephen Nichols, felt this loss deeply. Yet, a touching moment came when Steve sensed a spiritual connection with his late sister, Adrienne Johnson Kyriakis. Her message from beyond, assuring Steve that she was watching over John in the afterlife, brought comfort and evoked memories of Adrienne's vibrant presence in Salem. The June 16th episode doubled as a celebration of Stephen Nichols' 40-year portrayal of Steve "Patch" Johnson, a roguish hero whose eye patch and loyalty have made him a fan favorite since 1985. Flashbacks highlighted Steve's journey, from his sister Adrienne's revelation that they were siblings to pivotal moments with his wife Kayla and friend Marcus Hunter. These nostalgic touches resonated with longtime viewers, particularly those over 65, who have followed Steve's evolution through decades of drama. A surprise retirement party for Steve, organized by his daughter Stephanie, took an unexpected turn when Jennifer Horton asked him to track down a stolen family heirloom. The mission reignited Steve's passion for detective work, transforming the event into a lively non-retirement celebration. In the vibrant town of Salem, the beloved soap opera Days of Our Lives continues to captivate audiences with its intricate web of romance, betrayal, and hope. Recent episodes have introduced a dramatic love quadrangle and a chilling mystery, leaving viewers eager to see what lies ahead for their favorite characters. As relationships fracture and secrets unravel, the storylines reflect timeless themes of love, forgiveness, and the enduring strength of family and community. At the heart of Salem's latest drama is a tangled romance involving Sarah Horton, Xander Kyriakis, Brady Black, and Gwen Rizek. Once a symbol of passionate love, Sarah and Xander's marriage has crumbled under the weight of secrets and violence. A devastating altercation between Xander and his brother, Philip Kyriakis, shattered Sarah's trust, leaving her feeling vulnerable and adrift. Seeking solace, Sarah has turned to Brady Black, her former love, whose stability and tenderness offer a comforting refuge. Their rekindled pain stirs memories of their past, raising questions about whether they could have a future together. Meanwhile, Xander finds himself drawn back to Gwen Rizek, a woman from his past, whose return to Salem has reignited old passions. Their complex history, filled with both desire and turmoil, has fans wondering if this reunion could spell the end of Xander and Sarah's love story. The emotional stakes are high as the characters navigate heartbreak and the possibility of new beginnings. Amid this turmoil, an unexpected figure emerges as a potential peacemaker, Philip Kyriakis. Despite being the target of Xander's rage, Philip chooses forgiveness over revenge, acknowledging his own role in their family's strife. His efforts to mend broken bonds offer a glimmer of hope for Xander and Sarah, potentially sparing them a painful custody battle over their daughter, Victoria. However, Philip's path to reconciliation is fraught with challenges, as Sarah's growing closeness to Brady and Gwen's presence in Xander's life create significant obstacles. As romance unfolds, a darker storyline brews at Salem University Hospital, where attorney Belle Black finds herself entangled in a perplexing enigma. Known for her sharp mind and commitment to justice, Belle is investigating a brutal attack that left Philip Kyriakis hospitalized. The shocking truth, known only to a few, is that Philip's attacker was his own brother, Xander, whose rage over a disputed inheritance erupted in violence. Surprisingly, Philip refuses to name Xander as his assailant, instead spinning a vague tale of an unknown attacker. Bella's suspicions are immediately piqued. Why would Philip protect the brother who nearly killed him? As she digs deeper, she begins to suspect a clandestine deal between the brothers, one that could bury the truth and shield Xander from consequences. For Philip, this lie may be an attempt to atone for his past betrayal, when he cheated Xander out of their inheritance. For Xander, the deal is a lifeline, a chance to salvage his crumbling marriage and avoid prison. Belle, however, remains determined to uncover the truth, believing that only justice can heal the wounds between the brothers. Her resolve resonates with viewers who have faced their own struggles with truth and forgiveness, offering a powerful reminder of the courage required to confront difficult realities. Amid the drama, Salem pauses to celebrate Juneteenth, a moment of unity and reflection led by Paulina Price, Abe Carver, and Chanel Dupree. Paulina, portrayed with radiant strength, brings infectious optimism to the gathering, embodying the resilience that Juneteenth honors. Abe, a pillar of the community, stands by her side, his commitment to justice echoing the holiday's significance. Chanel, Paulina's daughter and a successful entrepreneur, adds youthful energy, representing the next generation's hope for a brighter future. Their toast, filled with laughter and shared stories, creates a heartwarming scene that underscores the importance of community. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, June 18th, bring back the memories of Alice and Tom Horton, just as Hope and Bo are working on making new memories of their own. Hope spent 2 years by Bo's bedside, willing for him to wake up. Then, when he did, they had only a few minutes of glorious flashbacks and a quick reunion with kids Sean and Kiara, not to mention grandkids little Bo and Adelaide, before Bo was blindsided by the news of John's death. He bullied his way out of his hospital bed and staggered to John's memorial service. Bo and Hope had no time to discuss their future. They were too busy saying goodbye to the past and trying to remain upright in the present. But now that the crisis has passed, Hope and Bo have time to take a breath and wonder where they go from here. Sierra and Ben are doing the sailing around the world thing on Bo and Hope's boat, and it's unlikely they'll want to share, but that doesn't mean they can't make a fresh start. Maybe no boat this time. How about an RV, a train, a private plane? Or who needs retirement when Jennifer needs some PI help? And Steve doesn't want to work alone. Jennifer and Jack put Steve on the trail of Julie's necklace, the one Doug stole. Salem is no stranger to secrets and scandal, but the latest development in Days of Our Lives has the entire town reeling. At the center of the storm, Sophia, her newborn baby, and the explosive question of who the real father is, Tate or Aaron. For weeks, Salem buzzed with the surprising news of Sophia's pregnancy. Sophia, known for her composed demeanor and piercing gaze, publicly claimed that Tate was the father of her unborn child. The revelation stunned Tate, who was left grappling with the life-changing prospect of sudden fatherhood. However, as Sophia's due date approached, a growing wave of doubt began to ripple through the community. What if Tate wasn't the father at all? The drama reached a fever pitch when Sophia was rushed to Salem University Hospital in labor. Amid the chaos, a simple statement from Tate altered everything. He revealed that he and Sophia had always used protection. The air grew heavy with uncertainty. As silence fell across the room, Aaron, who happened to be nearby, overheard the confession. The memory of a past encounter with Sophia surged back to Aaron, planting the possibility that he, not Tate, could be the father. Consumed with a mix of emotions, Aaron followed his gut and confronted Sophia directly. His bold question, "Is it mine?" shook the fragile walls of Sophia's secret. Tension erupted in the hospital room. Sophia faltered under pressure, desperately clinging to her original story. But Aaron wasn't backing down. With emotions running high, he demanded a paternity test, refusing to walk away from what might be his child. What followed was one of the most gut-wrenching moments in Days of Our Lives history. Under the combined weight of Aaron's persistence and Tate's silent heartbreak, Sophia finally broke. Through tears, she confessed that she wasn't entirely sure who the father was. Her reasoning? She believed Tate was the better choice, not just for her, but for the life she wanted for her baby. Her heart had always belonged to him, and she hoped the pregnancy would rekindle their romance. But her confession shattered trust. Tate, already conflicted about becoming a father, was left devastated. Aaron, too, was torn, furious at the deception but touched by the growing connection he felt with the newborn. Amidst the raw pain and emotional chaos, the truth was out, but clarity remained elusive. Sophia's revelation has sent shockwaves through Salem, igniting debates, breaking bonds, and polarizing residents. Some see her as a manipulator, others as a woman desperate for love and security. But one thing is certain: the baby, now swaddled in innocence, has become the center of a brewing custody and identity battle. Aaron's determination is unwavering. He's no longer just reacting, he's stepping up, ready to fight for the child he believes might be his. Meanwhile, Tate is torn between betrayal and lingering affection. And Sophia, caught in her own web of choices, is trying to salvage what remains of her relationship with Tate while keeping Aaron at bay. The entire town is now watching and waiting for the paternity test results. Will they confirm Aaron as the father, giving him the future he never expected? Or will Tate remain at the center of the child's life, despite the trust that's been broken? As the storyline unfolds, Salem's most beloved characters are being drawn into the conflict. Maggie offers emotional support to Tate, while Brady tries to mediate the brewing tension. The Bradys and Hortons find their family loyalties tested, while residents like Nicole and EJ condemn Sophia's deceit, and others like Sarah and Xander express compassion. There's also the looming possibility of an even greater twist, a third man who could upend everything. Could there be another secret encounter in Sophia's past yet to be revealed? As fans hold their breath for the paternity test results, the emotional stakes continue to climb. Sophia may attempt to win back Tate, Aaron may prepare for a possible future as a father, and Salem may find itself divided like never before. This isn't just another dramatic twist, it's a defining moment that will reshape relationships, test loyalties, and challenge hearts across Salem. No matter the outcome, this storyline is poised to leave a lasting mark on Days of Our Lives. Steve Johnson is one of the central characters on Days of Our Lives. The character of Steve Johnson originated in 1985 and has been on the soap opera in a recurring capacity. In the current story arc of DOOL, Steve has decided to reverse his previous decision to retire. Days of Our Lives is set in the fictional city of Salem. Airing since 1965, it is one of the longest-running daytime soap operas. Currently, the people of Salem have been going through a rough time as they mourn the death of John Black. Steve, who was one of John's closest friends, made a difficult decision, which he later reversed as Bo made an exciting offer. Steve Johnson is a fictional character on Days of Our Lives, portrayed by Stephen Nichols since the character was introduced on the soap. In the current scenario of the soap opera, Steve is on a mission to find the whereabouts of his good friend John, who has been MIA for some time. He helped John's wife, Marlena, and accompanied her on her trip to DC to get information about him. In DC, after not getting any valuable insights for a while, they decided to head back to Salem. However, just in time, they received some important and shocking news about him. They learned that John has been in an explosion, which has caused him several injuries, and he has been fighting for his life. Steve was taken aback by this news and immediately told his wife, Dr. Kayla Caroline. However, John couldn't make it through, thus leading to a lot of people in grief. As Steve mourned the death of his best friend, he decided to close Black Patch and retire. However, after the surprise visit by Bo at John's funeral, they all gather at Brady Pub to celebrate John. At the pub, Bo noticed something was off with Steve and questioned him about the same. Steve replied that he has decided to take retirement and close Black Patch, to which Bo made an offer. Bo offered Steve a partnership with him and his daughter, Hope. Steve took some time to consider the offer. Unsure about what decision to make, he later had a dream in which his sister, Adrienne, assured him that John was safe and healing in heaven. The dream left Steve in a dilemma about whether to move forward with the partnership. Stephen Nichols is an American actor who was born on February 19, 1951, in Cincinnati, Ohio. The actor recently completed his 40th year as Steve Johnson on the soap opera Days of Our Lives. In a recent interview with She Knows Soap on June 16, 2025, the actor shared some interesting details about his character. The actor shared that originally the character wasn't meant to last for more than 3 to 4 months. However, it carried over 40 years. He also pointed out how his villainous character has evolved and become one of the central characters on the soap opera.